Hello, welcome back. I have got a story to share with you today. So, it's not necessarily my proudest moment, but my hope is that in sharing this, you will take something away from it too. So on Thursday morning, I had just taken a bar class and I felt like so good about myself and about life, and I was super excited to get home and to get a ton of work done. I was like setting myself up for a really productive day. And on my way home, there is this really this intersection that just sucks, because if you're turning left, you have to wait like a really long time, and if there's somebody in front of you turning left, it's even more frustrating because you have to wait for them to go. So of course I was the person that had to turn left, so I had to wait like one light cycle. I already didn't get a chance to go, and then the next one, once I finally did get a chance to go, this guy decided that he was going to very leisurely and slowly mosey across the street. Okay, so the guy behind me like lays on his horn, like not like a little like hey beep beep go, with like a really intense honk, like didn't lay off of it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there's this guy in front of me. Like, I can't run him over just so that I can go. I want to get home too. I want to go get coffee. And so finally the guy walks across the street, and I go, and he goes, and he pulls it up next to me on the street. And he slows down, he stops, and he gives me this look out the window, like seriously, like gives me this like the dirtiest look, like I was the scum of the earth. And so without thinking about it, without really acknowledging it or being aware of my reaction, my middle finger just went up in the air towards him in the side of the window. And, I looked over when I gave it to him. Again, not my proudest moment. And so if you really want to see the worst of me, like put me in some traffic, because I have really terrible road rage, and I have like zero tolerance to stupid people when they're driving. And it's not my proudest moments, and I will say words that I would never say otherwise. And I'm working on it. I'm working on being a better human when I'm driving my car. But I was a good human. I was stopping to let the guy go across the street. Anyways, so immediately after I did it, I felt terrible, and I was like, oh, shouldn't have done that. So he continued to yell at me through the window, and so instead of like acknowledging what I'd done, I just kind of stared forward and pretended like it didn't happen as he continued to yell. And so we pulled up to the red light that was like just a couple of feet in front of us from where he had stopped. And so we're waiting, and it seemed like the longest red light in my entire life. I just wanted to get out of the situation. I'd already felt bad about it. He was livid, and so I needed to go straight, and he was going straight in the lane next to me. But instead of going straight, in an effort to not escalate the situation any further and to get out of it, I made a left, which I didn't need to do, but I knew that I could get to where I was going by going left. Well, not only did I feel like a terrible person after, I also got stuck in 25 minutes of unnecessary traffic and could not move, and got home way later than I wanted to, way later than I was anticipating, and I was like 25 minutes later that I had to get my coffee, which I was already really desperate for. So, maybe not my best move. The moral of this story is that if I had just composed myself and handled things just in a slightly different way for those 30 seconds, that I could have saved myself like 25 minutes of frustration and traffic and 25 minutes of guilt. And I think that a lot of times in situations like that, or when we're dealing with other people and we're not happy or satisfied with their reactions, a lot of time our own reaction that comes up is the reaction that we think that they deserve, the reaction that we think is going to best complement, for lack of a better term, their actions and be what they deserve. Which is a problem, because so often it's not the reaction that we deserve for ourselves, and it ends up creating more issues for us and more frustrations when they're all unnecessary. And I mean, giving him the middle finger, like, I'm sure that it didn't affect the rest of his morning like it did mine. I don't think that he got any benefit out of it, or any consequence out of it. and it just made me feel crummy, and I was thrown off the rest of the morning, and it wasn't worth my energy. And I've been trying really hard to make better decisions, to have things conserve my energy throughout the day better, and that wasn't one of those moments where those efforts were coming through. But so it's important not to let other people get to us in that kind of manner, and it's even more important to just stop for that second when we feel that reaction kind of rising up in us. And it's hard because sometimes on that stuff it's just like a gut reaction, like I didn't think about it, I didn't even consider it, like I've maybe given people the middle finger like 7 times in my whole life. Like, it's not like a frequent reaction of mine. It's not something that I do lightly all the time. And, it's just, it happened. And so I challenge you to just start being a little bit more aware of the reaction that you want to give. Is it actually doing anything for yourself? Because sometimes we feel like, we're taking a jab at the other person, and that for some reason it's going to make us feel better when it really doesn't. And a lot of times it just creates more issues and problems for us. So that is what I learned when I gave somebody the middle finger last week. Serves me right, because the universe was like, yeah, not what you should have done. Here is 25 minutes of sitting in traffic, which is going to boil your blood even more, so don't freak out. I'm testing you again. And be mindful that your energy matters too. And one little moment, one little minute, not being mindful of our reactions or how we're going to respond can really have a much larger ripple effect and doesn't do anything to serve ourselves. So that's it. If you've ever had a moment like that where you did something and you regretted your action after, or something happened and you're like, oh, that's karma, I deserve that after what I just did, I would love to hear about it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on reacting for others versus reacting for yourselves. Imagine if all of the times when we wanted to give a reaction like that, or customer service representatives, sometimes they really boil my frustrations too, especially like automated voice systems, and things like that, or even just the way that we handle problems and conflicts with others. If we would just take a second to breathe and say, is my reaction about to help me in any way, or is it only going to take away my energy and provide nothing effective for either party, is I think a really important lesson, and something that I'm working on. And let me know if you agree with that. All right, that's all I have for you today. It's been crazy around here. We're just trying to get back into the swing of things, back into making progress with the gem, and really planning out our content strategy for 2018. So that is what has been going on, and I will be back next week with another video on Monday.